Despite my best efforts to support Pearl's team, it looks like Team Ice Cream took the cake. Greetings, Internet! This is Gabriel, also known as Eben, and I would like to talk to you about a common trope used in many forms of media, from movies to video games. One trick that makes virtually any situation much more interesting, especially for comedic purposes, is the dynamic duo. Now, I'm sure most of you are at least familiar with the term, but just to clarify, a dynamic duo is what you get when you juxtaposition two characters that are polar opposite in as many ways as possible. And this is exactly what we have in Splatoon 2 with Pearl and Marina. Before I go on, I've got to mention that Splatoon 2 is my first delve into this colorful, inky world. You see, I was on the fence about the first game for so long that by the time I made up my mind, Splatoon 2 had already been announced, so I figured I'd just wait for the sequel. So I'm clearly no expert on this world, though I did immediately recognize Pearl and Marina as the new Squid Sisters. They're the celebrities we see hosting Splatfests, announcing stuff, and performing on stage, just like Callie and Mari.
If I'm pronouncing these names correctly.
And while Callie and Mari had their own dynamic, Pearl and Marina take the whole polar opposites thing to the next level. For starters, they vary drastically in appearance. Just like classic duos, such as Rocky and Bullwinkle, you have the short one and the tall one. You see this dynamic everywhere: Mario and Luigi, Wario and Waluigi, Atlas and Peabody, Sans and Papyrus. These are just a few I can name off the top of my head, but the list goes on and on. It's like tall and short characters are just meant to go together. Oftentimes, the short character will have a stocky build, while the taller one is more lanky. But this really isn't the case with Pearl and Marina. However, you'll probably notice a number of other visual details that contrast and complement each other in these two. Short hair, long hair, warm light colors, cool dark colors, assertive demeanor, passive demeanor. Yes, that's right, even their personalities clash. It's immediately apparent when you watch them perform. Unlike Callie and Mari, who mirror each other's moves in a very coordinated dance routine, Pearl and Marina do their own thing on stage for the most part. Pearl leaps out in front and goes wild, showing off her spunky, childlike energy. Meanwhile, Marina lurks in the back, demonstrating a series of slower, more graceful moves, which I think displays her more mature and laid-back nature. I think it's also safe to assume that Pearl is the extrovert of the two, the talkative, social butterfly who loves to be the center of attention. In contrast, Marina seems like much more of an introvert, quieter, perhaps even shy. She likely does more thinking than talking and is more comfortable standing back and letting Pearl take front center while she operates all the musical doohickeys. Heck, these personalities are even reflected through their hairstyles. Pearl's is parted, pushed aside to put her face on full display, whereas Marina's hangs down over her face, covering half of it up. All these little details work together to paint a picture of who these characters are, making them easily discernible even to a newcomer like myself. But what's the point in all this? Why make a dynamic duo in the first place? What exactly do you achieve by pairing up two characters who are different in every way? Well, I could make a whole series of videos on the psychology of aesthetics, but all that really matters for now is the fact that opposites tend to go together, just like how sweet pastries go good with bitter coffee, or how the twilight sky looks so pretty with colors from opposite sides of the color wheel. If nothing more, having two completely different characters who are somehow inseparable makes for some highly entertaining situations. After all, conflict makes the world of fiction go round. Just look at how many hilarious situations Ren and Stimpy got themselves into because of their differences. And let's not forget about complementary skill sets. Two people who are good at different things can accomplish much more than two people with the exact same strengths. Getting back to Pearl and Marina, you can see that Pearl is the more exuberant singer and dancer. However, I would venture to say that she's not nearly as masterful as Marina at operating the electronic equipment, and thus, the two of them combine their strengths to put on the most spectacular show. I just jumped on this bandwagon, and I already find myself excited to see what comes next from these two. What might they accomplish despite or because of their differences? Only time will tell. But for now, that's all I've got for you. Until next time, stay fresh, don't get cooked, and have a wonderful day. Hello again. Thanks for watching. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, I'm currently exploring different types of videos in an attempt to revive my YouTube channel. I suppose you could call this one an analysis video, where I just pick apart things that stick out to me in games or movies. It'll be just one of many things I toy around with in days to come. I'm really just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. If multiple things catch on, who knows, I might split into multiple channels to appeal to different audiences. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Anywho, if you know of any interesting characters or tropes, feel free to share them with me in the comments below. I might give my own analysis in a future video. But until then, goodbye!